Good morning, everyone. I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas. Debbie and I are in Fernandina Beach, Florida today, visiting with our two sons, Travis and Troy. They both had to work on Christmas Day. Troy was also scheduled to work Saturday and today. So we're actually still looking forward to Christmas, which for us will be tomorrow morning. This will be our first beach Christmas, so we'll let you know how we liked it when we get home. Before I forget, I hope you'll all be here next Sunday. It'll be Vision Sunday. And I'm so excited to begin to cast vision for our future. I truly believe that 2010 is going to be an exciting and a fun year for all of us here at FMCC. I say boldly that I don't think we'll ever be the same after this year. I believe God is going to break into our lives in exciting new ways, raising up a new courage and a new compassion as we take the church outside these walls and invade our community. So don't miss next Sunday. But 2009 has been a great year too. Wow. We've had fun exploring what it means to be connected to other believers. Long before 2009 began, our leaders talked about how this year would go. We planned for the startup of 3 pilot groups to get our feet wet. Meanwhile, God beat us to the punch by bringing a group of women together as a prayer support group. And they've truly made their presence felt over the last year and a half as they've become a powerful force in our church for God through their prayers. Karen Sullivan leads that group, and it includes Connie Griffith, Pauline Caldwell, Lana Shoemaker, Holly Swartz, and Julie Sargent. As our leaders planned for the year, we held out a hope that 50% of our adults would be involved in every other week connection groups by the end of 2009. Well, little did we know how much God was going to bless our efforts, because at present we have over 85% of our adults meeting regularly, year-round, in every other week connection groups. Praise the Lord. Or, as I like to say, woohoo! We have, for instance, Karen's group that I mentioned. We have a group that Debbie and I lead. There's a group that Bob and Carol Singleton lead, and a group that Laurie Mahosky and Marshall Mahosky lead. Then there's Linda Savitt's group. Tom Green and Bill Green lead a group. Sam and Julie Sargent started a group last fall. And then Corey and Charlie Adams are in the process of birthing a group right now. And Bob and Debbie Van Arsdale are drawing members together and looking for a host home so that they can begin to meet in the new year. There are actually, as a sign-up sheet at the Ministry Center this morning, you can check out. Bob and Carol Singleton have room for 1 or 2 people in their group. Linda has room for several people in her group. Charlie and Corey's group obviously is just coming together, and there's plenty of room for people in their group. And of course, Bob and Debbie's group have room for new people as well. All of the other groups are closed. We've determined that our connection groups must be capped at 12 to protect the development of intimacy. To expand them beyond 12 places the whole purpose of the group at risk. So I hope you understand that. Please don't try to join a group because of who's in the group. You will quickly become friends with the people in your group, and you will learn to love them, and they will love you. Some may be asking, well, just what is a connection group and what happens in the meeting? Well, connection group is a group of 12 people led by a leader or leaders who are trained by me. Our leaders meet 4 times a year for training, support, sharing, and planning. The group meetings are scheduled to last for 90 minutes. All but one of our groups meets in homes. We think that's important because it totally changes the dynamics away from being a class to being more of an intimate gathering. We also have values that we maintain in our connection groups. Our values, let me read them for you. We will listen carefully and respond compassionately and respectfully. We will not pressure people to respond, but will rather invite them to group conversations and activities. We will respect our members' time by beginning and ending on time, and the meetings are 90 minutes long. We will communicate clearly and effectively regarding our plans for the future. We will make a concerted effort to notify group members regarding changes in schedules. We will not dominate the group sessions by doing all the talking. Rather, we will deliberately create open space to allow our group members to share their thoughts, perceptions, and their concerns. We will not call on people to read or pray or share. We acknowledge that many people are terrified of groups due to fear that that'll happen. Now, it's certainly acceptable to ask if someone would be willing to read or pray or share, but that's completely different than asking. We'll pray for our group members, asking God to grow them into exactly who He wants them to be. We will encourage contact among our group members between meetings for encouragement and for prayer and support. We'll encourage our people to bring their Bibles and use them in the group sessions. We'll also encourage our people to bring notebooks and pens so that we can intentionally remember the concerns of our friends and actively pray for them. And we will repeatedly emphasize the need for confidentiality, and will protect it if necessary. What's shared in the group should remain in the group and not be discussed anywhere else. Group meetings are very informal and begin with casual conversation. Gradually, the leader will move the conversation toward questions about how the members have been doing since the last meeting. General questions will be asked like, is anyone really struggling tonight? Is anyone really happy tonight? Is there something you'd like us to pray with you about? Are you having a problem that we could possibly help with? Responses to these questions may very well take up the whole evening. That's fine. We call our groups sharing life connection groups. We think the most important thing we can do is to meaningfully connect. Now, so far I've been providing a video curriculum to be used in the group sessions. However, the groups are not compelled to use it. Most are using this curriculum, but it consists of about 10 minutes of video instruction and then a worksheet of questions and activities. There's one other emphasis in our connection groups. We hope that the groups will serve together. Groups that serve others together will grow in intimacy and prevent themselves from becoming too self-focused. Intimacy is great, but if we only develop intimacy, we'll fail to impact our world for Christ. So we encourage our groups to take on projects and to find ways that they can work together to meet needs and serve lost and hurting people. It's really that simple. Our connection groups have been so blessed by God. We are forever grateful to Him for His leadership in this vital ministry. I've been asking God for several years to help us to get more intimately connected to one another. I never dreamed that we'd see the results that we have. It's so easy to come to worship on Sunday, but never really get connected to anybody. We walk in, sit down, participate, then get up and walk out with minimal contact with anyone. We don't really know the people that we worship with. Yes, we get to check off the box that says, I attended worship this Sunday. But how impressive is that fact when we don't really connect with people? We also came to realize that we had no real plan for helping new believers to grow and develop in their faith. What better way could we devise than to put these new believers into supportive groups that include people at all levels of spiritual development? We're convinced that getting into a connection group is the best way for a new believer to really get connected to God and begin to allow Him to transform their lives.